Tonight, you will walk through a world that waits just beyond the edges of your waking thoughts. You have set aside the noise of the day, the unfinished tasks, the conversations that echo faintly in your mind like distant bells. You have loosened the grip of time, allowing its restless ticking to fall away. Now there is only this moment, only this journey, only the slow unfolding of calm. A gentle breath carries you forward, as though the evening itself is guiding you towards something soft and timeless. Ahead, you sense the nearness of the sea, not yet visible, but already present in the air that brushes against your skin. It is the kind of air that tastes faintly of salt, carrying with it both the sharpness of the ocean and the sweetness of flowers hidden in the dunes. The balance of contrasts soothes you, sharp and sweet, cool and warm, near and far. Each step you take deepens that balance. Each step eases you further away from the world you left behind. Have you ever wondered what it feels like to arrive at a shore just as twilight settles? The day no longer holds you, and the night has not yet claimed you. You walk in a space between where edges blur and where even time seems to soften. The light fades slowly, a tender surrender, and shadows grow long and gentle, stretching across the sand as though to welcome your footprints. The ground beneath you shifts, soft and uneven, each step sinking into fine grains warmed by the memory of the day. You can feel the coolness rising from below, meeting the last warmth above, as though the earth itself is breathing through your soles. The air is filled with a hush, not silence, but a music so subtle it feels like silence's twin. You hear the faint rustle of tall grasses, the distant call of a night bird, and, beneath it all, the steady pulse of the sea. The ocean's voice comes to you before the ocean itself. The rhythm is unmistakable, a slow, measured exhale as waves stretch across the shore, followed by a long, patient inhale as they retreat. Again and again, without haste, without end. The sound is ancient, older than memory, yet familiar, like the beating of your own heart. It speaks to you without words, reminding you that rest is not something to be earned, but something to which you belong. As you continue, the sky changes above you. The last streaks of sunset and rose, gold, lavender fade into the deeper hues of night. Stars begin to appear, shy at first, then braver, scattering themselves across the vast canvas until the darkness is no longer dark at all, but alive with pinpricks of light. The moon rises slowly, pale and patient, drawing a long silver path across the waves, and you, walking in its glow, feel yourself softened by its presence. Moonlight has a way of transforming everything it touches. Stones that looked rough in the day are now smooth and rounded. The sea, which shimmered in gold under the sun, now glimmers in shades of silver and blue. Even your thoughts, lit by the moon's glow, lose their hard edges. Worries that felt heavy now seem to drift, weightless, dissolving into the night air. And then you see it. The little house by the sea. It waits at the edge of the shore, a small dwelling of weathered wood, its roof sloping gently as though bowing to the ocean it has watched for countless nights. A lantern glows in the window, casting a soft golden pulse into the darkness. The house looks less like a structure and more like a presence, not built merely of wood and stone, but of patience, silence, and welcome. It is as if it has always been there, waiting not for anyone in particular, yet waiting for you. You move closer. Seashells line the path leading to the house, their pale shapes gleaming under the moon. Each shell seems to carry a secret, the memory of waves, the echo of tides. Driftwood rests against the walls, smoothed by years of travel through salt and storm. The steps are worn, carrying the weight of many arrivals, yet strong, promising that they will carry you, too, safely to the threshold. Your pace slows naturally as you approach, not because you must, but because slowing feels right here. Time itself seems to have loosened its grip. The seconds stretch. The minutes dissolve. All that remains is the rhythm of your breath and the rhythm of the sea, moving together in perfect harmony, inhaling as the tide gathers, exhaling as it recedes. A lullaby written in air and water. When you reach the porch, you pause. Behind you, the ocean whispers its eternal hymn, vast and open. Before you, the little house glows with warmth, close and safe. You stand between two worlds, the boundless horizon and the intimate shelter. And you realize there is no need to choose. Both belong to you, the vastness that frees and the closeness that holds. The wooden boards beneath your feet are smooth, polished not by varnish, but by years of wind and rain, sun and tide. The lantern light flickers across the door, painting it with shadows that dance slowly, as though breathing with you. You place your hand upon the handle. The wood is warm, as if it remembers every hand that has rested there before yours. You take a slow breath. The air tastes of salt, touched with the faint coolness of night, and somewhere deep within it, the sweetness of jasmine drifts in from the dunes. You hold that breath for a moment, then let it go, feeling your body sink deeper, softer, lighter. The sea behind you continues its song. The stars above continue their slow turning. The moon lays its silver path across the waves, guiding your eyes back to the little house, steady, glowing, waiting. And with that sense of welcome surrounding you, you press the door gently open. The hinges do not creak. The door moves as though it has been waiting for this moment. A warm glow spills outward, golden and steady, embracing the cool blue of the night. The light reaches toward you like open arms. You step across the threshold, leaving behind the endless shore, stepping into something smaller, but no less vast. For what waits inside the little house by the sea is not simply shelter, but rest itself. It is a place where the world outside can fade, where the rhythm of the ocean follows you inward, and where the night will carry you deeper still toward the quiet heart of sleep. And as the door closes softly behind you, the glow deepening around you, you know that you have arrived. Tonight, you will walk deeper into calm. You have crossed the threshold, leaving the cool silver of the sea behind you, and now you stand within the little house by the shore. Its walls breathe warmth, its lantern light flickers softly. The hush of waves lingers just beyond, a constant companion, steady, eternal. The air here is different. It is quiet in a way that does not feel empty, but full of rest, full of stillness, full of presence. You breathe it in and you feel something within you begin to slow, as if the very rhythm of the house has reached into your chest and steadied your heart. The floor beneath your feet is smooth wood, polished not by hands, but by time. Every board creaks gently, not sharply, but like a lullaby of memory. Each sound folds into silence almost as soon as it appears, fading the way ripples fade on water. You notice how the house seems alive, not bustling, not loud, but alive in a soft, listening way. Have you ever walked through a place where every object feels chosen, where nothing is hurried, nothing is wasted? This house is such a place. You drift into the first room. The walls are lined with shelves, and on those shelves, seashells rest in quiet rows. Some are small and delicate, their spirals so fine they look like frozen music. Others are large, ridged and weathered, shaped by years of tides. If you listen closely, you can almost hear the faint whisper of the sea inside them. Echoes captured long ago, still singing. Beside the shells, pieces of driftwood lean gracefully, their forms twisted into natural sculptures. You trace their edges with your eyes, noticing how what was once rough has been smoothed by water and time. The driftwood speaks a gentle lesson, that life, too, softens with patience, that sharpness yields to gentleness when carried by the right current. In the corner, a table holds books with worn covers. Their spines lean together like old friends, keeping company through the long, quiet nights. You run your fingers across them. The titles are faded, but the sense is clear. Philosophy, poetry, stories carried across generations. They invite you to open them, not to rush, but to linger on each word, to taste them slowly, like sips of warm tea. The house does not hurry you. It never asks you to move quickly. Instead, it opens itself one room at a time, as though guiding you through a meditation of space. You wander further, each step slower, each breath deeper. Another room opens before you, lit not by lanterns, but by the moon filtering through a wide window. The glass hums faintly with the sound of the ocean breeze outside. In this room, there is only a single chair, carved of wood, cushioned in soft fabric. It faces the sea. You sit. The wood supports you gently, steady without strain. The fabric holds you, warm and yielding. And before you, framed by the window, is the horizon, silver and endless. You let your gaze drift outward. The waves glimmer like a moving mirror. The stars sprinkle themselves across the surface. For a moment you feel as though you are no longer separate from them, as though the ocean, the stars, and your breath are woven together into a single rhythm. In, out, wave forward, wave retreat. Light flicker, light fade. The longer you sit, the quieter your thoughts become. The house seems to lean into your silence, encouraging it, nurturing it. The walls hum faintly with stillness, the way a seashell hums with its hidden song. You realize that stillness is not the absence of sound, but the presence of peace. When you rise again, you move with ease, your body lighter, your steps softer. You drift into another hallway, where candles burn in niches carved into the wood. Their flames are small, yet steady, each one glowing as though it has been burning for centuries. The wax melts slowly, drop by drop, teaching you that time can flow like honey, unhurried, golden, sweet. Have you noticed how firelight changes the way a room feels? Shadows stretch long and gentle, corners soften, and everything glows with a sense of belonging. You notice it here, how the flame does not simply light the space but warms it, filling it with a quiet invitation to stay, to breathe, to rest. Room by room, the house unfolds itself. Not grand, not vast, but intimate, sacred. Every space is a sanctuary. Every object is a companion. You realize that this is not just a house. It is a vessel for calm. Finally, you return to the center, where the main lantern glows beside the hearth. Its light spills across the wooden walls, across the shelves, across the books, across you. You pause here, standing still. You notice your breath again, slower now, deeper now. You feel the weight of your body soften, as though gravity itself has become gentle. Outside, the waves continue their lullaby. The house and the sea seem to breathe together, in harmony. One steady, one eternal. And you, standing here, are part of both. As you linger in the stillness, you realize that every step you've taken tonight has carried you further away from wakefulness and closer to rest. This house has not simply welcomed you, it has reshaped you, slowed you, softened you. And as you move toward the door that leads to the porch, you feel ready for what waits beyond. You know the sea is waiting, its silver path stretching beneath the moon. You know the night is waiting with more stories, more lessons, more rest. You place your hand upon the wooden frame once more. The lantern light flickers gently, guiding you onward. You open the door, and the cool hush of the night meets you again. The waves greet you with their eternal song. You step forward, carried now by stillness, ready to walk further into the journey. The door closes softly behind you, leaving its warm glow within as you turn once more toward the shore. Tonight, you will walk further, leaving the little house for a while, drawn gently toward the shore. The door closes softly behind you, the warm glow fading into the hush of night. And before you lies the endless stretch of sand, pale beneath the watchful sky. Have you ever listened closely to a shoreline at night? Not just the rolling rhythm of waves, but the softer sounds beneath. The whispers of foam as it folds into the sand, the sigh of shells as water moves around them, the faint shifting of tiny grains as the sea breathes in and out. Each step carries you across cool sand textured like silk woven with memory. The grains press lightly against your feet, and in that touch there is a reminder of how the earth holds even the quietest of moments. The night air drapes itself across your shoulders like a soft shawl, heavy with salt and the faint sweetness of seagrass. The tide is gentle tonight, not rushing, not urgent, but patient, unhurried. The way a lullaby is sung by someone who does not measure time. You find yourself breathing in rhythm with it. A slow inhale as the water reaches forward, a long, easy exhale as it retreats. Far off, the horizon melts into haze, a line blurred between sea and sky. The moon's reflection shivers across the waves, stretching like a path just for you. Have you ever wondered if the sea remembers every traveler who has walked its shores? Each footprint a story, each breath offered to the tide, a whisper folded into eternity. And tonight, the shore itself seems to speak. Not in words, but in the way the wind stirs through reeds, the way the surf shifts tones like a harp strummed by invisible hands. You pause, and for a moment it seems as though the shore is speaking directly to you, inviting you to listen more deeply, to hear what lies beneath ordinary sound. There is a murmur in the air, as though the sand and the sea are carrying secrets too delicate to be spoken aloud. Perhaps it is memory, or perhaps it is simply the soft chorus of nature weaving night into calm. You kneel near the edge of the water, where the tide curls gently around your hand. The touch is cool, not startling, but soothing, like dipping your fingers into liquid glass. The foam lingers a moment before slipping back, leaving a faint sparkle on your skin. The sensation reminds you that the world is vast, and yet here, in this moment, it holds you with tender precision. Every wave that comes is different, yet all are part of one endless rhythm. Some carry faint shells that rattle as they settle, others bring strands of seaweed, dark and glistening like threads from another world. You notice how the sea gives and takes without effort, how it flows without asking permission, how it whispers of balance. Have you ever noticed how a shoreline teaches patience? The tide never rushes. It does not demand. It comes forward, it steps back, always in rhythm, always in peace. As you listen, you begin to feel that same patience settling into your own breath, into the quiet chambers of your mind. The stars above stretch endlessly, yet their light feels personal, as though they have been placed there for your journey alone. A soft breeze carries the faint scent of salt and flowers hidden further inland. Somewhere, the distant cry of a nightbird drifts across the air, a single note fading like a dream half remembered. You walk slowly along the water's edge, each step leaving an imprint that glimmers briefly before the sea smooths it away. Isn't it calming, this reminder that nothing lasts forever, yet everything belongs? Even footprints erased by waves are part of the eternal rhythm. Your mind begins to soften, thoughts loosening like knots gently untied. The shore whispers not only through sound but through sensation. The texture of sand, the cool caress of wind, the hush of water. These are the lullabies of the earth, written without words, meant to be felt rather than understood. After a while, you find a piece of driftwood, weathered and pale, smoothed by years of tide and sun. You trace its grain with your fingers, marveling at how time has shaped it into something simple, beautiful, and unhurried. The shore seems to remind you that all things are carried, shaped, softened, even the hardest edges, even the sharpest corners. You sit with it for a moment. The driftwood in your lap, the sea before you, the stars above. And as you sit, you notice how silence itself becomes a companion. Silence is not empty. It is full of listening, full of presence. Have you ever noticed that silence near the sea feels different than silence anywhere else? It holds you, it comforts you, it breathes with you. Slowly you rise again, continuing your gentle walk along the shore. Each step feels lighter now, as though the sand is carrying you rather than receiving you. The whispers of the shore follow, soft, constant, like a friend walking beside you. Eventually, you notice a faint glow in the distance, low and golden, where the shoreline curves back toward the little house. The whispers of the sea guide you toward it, reminding you that rest awaits, that warmth awaits, that inside the little house the night will continue its gentle story. You turn once more toward the water, offering a final breath to the shore, as if to say thank you for its whispers, thank you for its patience, thank you for its quiet lessons. And then slowly you begin to walk back, guided by the glow of the house, the sea's song fading but never leaving, always present somewhere in the background of your breath. The sand grows softer as you return, the sound of waves blending into the sound of your heartbeat, slow and calm. The little house grows nearer, its glow warmer, steadier. The whispers of the shore remain with you like a lullaby you can carry even when silence falls. And when at last you reach the steps of the little house, the door opens as though it has been waiting, spilling light into the night. You pause for just a moment, glancing back at the endless sea, at the whispering shore, before stepping softly inside. The door closes gently behind you, the hush of the sea, now a memory woven into your breath. Inside, the glow welcomes you and the story continues, the journey moving further inward. Deeper into calm, you step across the threshold, carrying with you the whispers of the shore, now ready to explore the warmth, the stillness, and the hidden corners of the little house by the sea. Tonight, you step back into the little house by the sea, leaving behind the whispering shore. The door closes softly, the latch clicking like the quietest note of a lullaby, and the outside world becomes muffled, the sea's voice still faint, but softened by walls of wood and stone. You pause on the threshold, adjusting to the glow that welcomes you. The house does not blaze with light. Instead, it glimmers warm and low, as if each lamp and candle understands the language of rest. Shadows stretch long and gentle, corners softened by amber hues. Have you ever noticed how some places seem to breathe with you? The air here feels alive, not rushed, not hurried, but patient, as though it has been waiting for you to return. The glow gathers around you like a cloak, wrapping your shoulders in invisible warmth. Your eyes adjust slowly, drinking in the textures, wooden beams that curve slightly with age, polished by time and touch, woven rugs scattered across the floor, threads faded by footsteps but still rich with memory, shelves lined with simple objects, clay jars, glass bottles, shells smoothed by waves. Each object seems to hum with quiet history, not loudly, but softly, like a story whispered in sleep. You find yourself slowing each step quieter than the last, as though the house itself is teaching you how to walk gently, how to move in rhythm with calm. The air carries a faint fragrance, beeswax from candles, a trace of salt carried in through open windows, and something sweet, perhaps lavender or thyme, dried herbs hanging in bundles along the beams. You breathe it in, deep and slow, letting the scent move through you like a soft tide. With each breath, your shoulders drop a little lower, your chest loosens, your thoughts soften. You wander through the main room, where a low fire burns in the hearth. Not roaring, not demanding attention, but glowing steadily. Like the steady heartbeat of the house, its flames move with patience, curling upward, fading into embers, dancing in rhythms that soothe rather than startle. You draw closer, drawn to the warmth, and notice how the firelight flickers against the walls, painting them with golden waves as if the sea has followed you indoors. The light shifts and ripples, reminding you that nothing is fixed. Everything is alive with motion, even in stillness. Have you ever watched fire the way you listen to the sea? Both move endlessly, never repeating themselves, never tiring, always flowing, always present. And here the fire seems to carry the voice of the ocean into the heart of the house, as though the two are kin, both keepers of calm. A chair waits near the hearth, not upright and stiff, but deep and welcoming, its cushions soft, its fabric worn by years of quiet evenings. You sink into it slowly, feeling the way it receives you, not resisting, not pushing, but holding you, embracing you. The chair sighs faintly beneath your weight, as if relieved to finally have you there. And as you rest, the glow of the fire settles over you like another layer of warmth, a cocoon of gentle light. Your breath deepens without effort. Inhale, slow, cool air drawn in. Exhale, a soft release, like smoke fading into the night. The rhythm matches the fire, matches the memory of waves, matches the steady pulse of calm moving deeper into your body. From where you sit, you notice the details of the room that you had not seen before. A table rests by the wall, draped with a cloth embroidered in simple patterns of blue and gold. Upon it rests a small bowl of polished stones, smooth and luminous, gathered perhaps from the same shore you just walked. They glisten faintly in the firelight, as though still carrying the shimmer of the tide. On the shelves, books lean gently against one another, spines faded, pages curled from time. You wonder how many evenings were spent here, turning those pages by firelight, letting stories mingle with the sound of the sea outside. Perhaps some were tales of distant lands, others reflections on life and time. Each book seems to hold not only words, but a fragment of rest itself. The glow does more than light the room. It shapes it, softens it, fills it with presence. Shadows are no longer dark or heavy. They are tender, moving with the same rhythm as the flames. Corners that might have felt empty instead feel welcoming, like quiet alcoves waiting for thought to dissolve into stillness. The glow seems to say, "You are safe here. You are held here. There is nothing to carry, nothing to solve. Only this moment, only this warmth." You close your eyes for a time, listening to the quiet crackle of the fire. Even with your eyes shut, you feel the glow as clearly as if you were still watching it. The warmth touches your skin, the faint sound fills your ears, and the rhythm of flame and breath becomes indistinguishable. After a while, you rise again, moving deeper into the house. The floorboards creak softly beneath your steps. Not sharp, not startling, but low and hushed, like a voice joining the house's symphony of rest. You pass through a small hallway where lanterns hang low, their light dimmer, guiding you with gentle persistence. Each lantern seems to hold a fragment of starlight, captured and set free again within these walls. The hallway leads to another room, a study, smaller and quieter, its windows wide, open to the night. The glow of the fire does not reach this far, but moonlight pours in, silver and cool, softening the warm amber glow into something balanced, like day and night conversing in whispers. Here a writing desk rests against the wall, its surface scattered with parchment and ink, as if someone once wrote letters or dreams here, carried perhaps by the sound of the waves. A feather quill rests in an ink pot, its edges lit faintly by moonlight, like a wing waiting to take flight. You run your fingers along the desk, feeling the smooth wood worn by years of quiet hands. The house seems alive not only with rest, but with memory. Not heavy memory, not burden, but gentle remembrance, like a song hummed without words. You pause here, leaning lightly against the desk, gazing out the window at the sea. From here, the waves look smaller, the horizon wider, the stars more numerous. The whispers of the shore are distant now, softened by distance and walls, but they are still with you, faint, constant. You remain for a while, letting the house surround you, letting the glow soften the edges of your thoughts. The journey has carried you from the hush of evening into the warmth of this house, and now you rest in its embrace, not needing to move quickly, not needing to think. The glow within has become the glow around you, and the glow around you has become the glow within you. When you are ready, you will rise again, moving deeper still, to the quiet places of the house, where silence deepens, where night folds around you like a second skin. The glow will remain steady and soft, leading you further inward. Tonight you follow the glow deeper into the house, leaving behind the study where moonlight pooled across the desk. The hallway narrows slightly, the lanterns hanging lower, their light gentler still. Each flame flickers as though bowing to the silence, as though reminding you that light and quiet are companions, not opposites. Your footsteps slow even more, not because you wish to delay, but because silence has a way of teaching you how to move. You notice how the boards beneath your feet respond with the faintest sigh, softer than before, as if they too are reluctant to disturb the hush that fills these walls. At the end of the passage, a door stands ajar. Its frame is dark with age, but within you see only shadow, not threatening, not heavy, simply waiting. You touch the edge, and the door opens wider without sound, revealing a room unlike the others. The silent chamber greets you not with firelight or lantern glow, but with near-complete stillness. The walls are plain, bare wood, smooth and unadorned. A single window looks out over the ocean, but the shutters are drawn, letting only the faintest strands of moonlight slip through the cracks. The room feels larger than it is, not because of space, but because of silence. It expands in every direction, stretching beyond wood and stone, reaching into something deeper. You step inside and the quiet folds over you, wrapping you in layers softer than any cloth. Have you ever noticed how silence has its own sound? At first, it seems like nothing. Then slowly you realize it is not empty but full. Full of breath, full of presence, full of subtle rhythms that you would miss if there were noise. Here, in this room, you begin to hear that fullness. Your own breath becomes part of it. Inhale, a gentle draw of cool air. Exhale, a soft release dissolving into stillness. The faint beat of your heart joins too, steady and unhurried, like a drum hidden deep in the earth. Even the shifting of your body as you move feels amplified, not in volume, but in meaning, as if every small action is noticed, received, welcomed. In the center of the room, there is only a single cushion, round and low, woven from simple cloth. You sit upon it slowly, feeling the firmness beneath, the way it anchors you to the floor. The air here is cooler than in the firelit room, but not uncomfortable. It carries the scent of wood and faint salt, as if the sea still finds its way inside, even through closed shutters. You settle, letting your body find balance without effort. Your spine lengthens, your shoulders drop, your hands rest naturally in your lap. And as you grow still, the silence deepens, no longer something outside of you, but something you are part of. This is the room of the mind, though it does not demand thought. It invites reflection, but without strain, without chase. Here, ideas drift like clouds across a vast sky, forming, dissolving, reforming, without need for your control. You simply sit, and the silence reveals what it always carries. The wealth hidden in stillness. Have you ever wondered how many treasures are stored in silence? Not coins or jewels, but something far richer. In silence, you discover patience. In silence, you discover clarity. In silence, you discover that thoughts themselves are like waves, rising, cresting, fading, and rising again. You need not push them away. You need not chase them. You only watch, and in watching, you learn. You notice a thought appear, perhaps of the day just past. You notice how it enters, lingers, then drifts away, leaving room for another, and another. And then, eventually, fewer come. The longer you sit, the more the silence gathers them, holds them, softens them, until they are no longer demanding, but gentle. The room begins to change, not in shape, but in atmosphere. The longer you remain, the more it feels alive, humming faintly, not sound, but sensation. A presence that seems to flow through the walls, through the floor, through the air itself. The silence is no longer absence. It is abundance. You realize that wealth does not always shine. Sometimes it is invisible, resting in the space where nothing disturbs. Sometimes it is the ability to pause, to wait, to allow. That is the wealth of the mind. Not endless chatter, not restless motion, but the stillness that reveals what truly matters. You close your eyes, and the silence expands further. Without sight, you notice even more. The rhythm of your breath, steady, calm. The faint brush of fabric against your skin. The slow pulse of life within you. You notice that even in stillness, you are never empty. Memories drift in, but softer than before. A smile shared, a quiet morning, the sound of rain against a window. They come not to pull you away, but to remind you of the richness already within you. The silence shows you that nothing is truly gone. It all lingers, softened, made gentle by time. Have you ever sat so long in quiet that the world outside seemed to disappear? That is what begins to happen here. The sea, the shore, even the house itself fade to the edges. There is only breath, only presence, only this vast stillness that feels infinite. And yet you are not lost in it. You are found. The silence is not emptiness, it is wholeness. It is wealth beyond measure, wealth that cannot be counted, only felt. You remain in this chamber as long as you need, knowing there is no hurry. Time itself bends differently here. A moment feels like an hour like a moment. You cannot measure it, and you do not need to. Eventually, when you are ready, you rise slowly from the cushion. Your body feels lighter, though also more grounded, as though the silence has seeped into your bones. You move to the door, and as you open it, you notice how the glow of the house returns, warm and patient. Welcoming you back, you step once more into the lantern-lit hallway, carrying with you the silent wealth you have gathered. The house seems brighter now, though nothing has changed. The glow feels warmer, the air gentler. The silence within you is what has changed, and it will guide you forward into the next chamber, where memory and story intertwine. Tonight, you continue your slow journey through the little house by the sea, guided by the soft glow of lanterns and the faint memory of the shore's whispers. The hallway stretches quietly ahead, and each step you take seems to harmonize with the heartbeat of the house itself. The floorboards respond beneath your feet, a low, gentle murmur, as though the house is acknowledging your presence, welcoming you forward. At the end of the hall, a door waits, half open, inviting. Beyond it lies a space unlike any you have visited so far. The air feels different here, cooler, more resonant, carrying a subtle vibration you can almost feel in your chest. You push the door gently, and a quiet wave of expectation washes over you. This is the Chamber of Echoes. The room is circular, with high ceilings that curve into gentle arches. Shadows stretch in soft arcs along the walls, and the floor beneath your feet is smooth stone, cool to the touch. Lanterns hang low from above, their flames flickering in unison, though they cast no harsh light. Instead, the glow ripples across the space, creating a quiet rhythm of movement in stillness. Have you ever entered a room that seems to remember everything ever said within it?
That is what this chamber feels like.
Every sound, every footstep, every whisper echoes softly here, not to startle, but to remind you that all things leave traces. Not all traces are heavy. Some are gentle, lingering like music at the edge of perception. You step further inside. The echo greets you as a companion rather than a reflection. Each movement, the brush of your hand along the wall, the slight shift of your foot on stone, is carried back to you, stretched slightly, softened, like a story told again in a quieter voice. You pause in the center of the room. Inhale slowly, exhale gently. You notice how your breath carries in the space, bouncing lightly against the walls, returning to you a fraction later. The echo is not harsh. It is warm, embracing, as if the chamber itself breathes with you. Your mind drifts with the sounds. Some are immediate. A faint tap of wood, a whisper of fabric, the soft rustle of movement. Others are older, seeming to belong not to now, but to some remembered time. Perhaps a laugh long past, a conversation half forgotten, a story left incomplete. And yet they are all here, present in their quiet way, folded into the room like soft layers of memory. Have you ever thought of echoes not as repetitions, but as companions? Each one reminds you of a moment, a choice, a feeling, a presence. They are the quiet footprints of experience, held lightly, lingering, teaching without instruction. You wander slowly, placing a hand against the smooth stone of the wall. The surface is cool, grounding you even as the echo moves outward and returns. It is as though the room encourages reflection, inviting your thoughts to ripple outward and return, softened, reshaped, transformed. You notice the way the echoes carry your own breath, your own heartbeat. They are not exact copies, but gentle reminders, a soft mirror showing you the rhythm of presence. You begin to match your movements with them, walking, pausing, breathing in time with the subtle reverberations. The chamber teaches patience without words. The echoes arrive not in haste, but with quiet precision, revealing that time, like sound, can be gentle if allowed to flow naturally. The longer you linger, the more you notice the patterns, a subtle rhythm that repeats not rigidly, but fluidly, like the ocean itself. Have you ever listened so closely that you begin to hear layers within layers? Here you can. The echo of a footstep mingles with a faint whisper from the past. A small shift of air blends with a memory, and together they create something entirely new. Each sound carries meaning, but not in a way that demands understanding. You simply feel it, as one might feel the warmth of the sun on skin or the cool of night air on a window pane. You find a low bench in the curve of the wall and sit. The echo surrounds you, but now it feels less like sound and more like presence.
It is not repetition.
It is acknowledgement. It is as if the room itself is gently reminding you all that you have experienced, all that you have felt, matters. And even when gone, it remains soft, present, waiting for you to notice again. You close your eyes for a moment. The echoes seem louder now, though not overwhelming. Each one brushes against your consciousness, brushing away tension, easing the mind. You notice that your thoughts no longer rush. They move like clouds, drifting lazily across the sky of your awareness. Inhale slowly. Exhale deeply. And feel the echo carry you along with it. A gentle wave of sound and meaning folding around you. Memories drift softly, like the surf on the distant shore. Not all are your own. Some belong to the house, perhaps, or to the space itself, accumulated over time, held lightly, never heavy. And yet they are comforting. They remind you of the richness of life, the depth of presence, the quiet value of noticing. The chamber is teaching you without speaking. It shows you the wealth of experience, the richness of reflection, the quiet power of simply being. You realize that echoes are not just repetitions of sound, they are reminders of presence, of memory, of depth. They teach that even what fades is not lost, and even what seems distant remains softly within reach. You take a deep breath, feeling the cool air fill your lungs. The echo of that breath returns to you, stretched and softened, a gentle companion. You exhale, feeling the room settle around you, wrapping you in a quiet cocoon of understanding and calm. Slowly you rise and wander to the window. The shutters are slightly ajar, and the night is visible beyond them. The sea stretches endlessly, silver and calm, mirroring the rhythm of the echoes inside. You notice how the two, outside and within, converse silently. Waves rise and fall as echoes respond to movement. The world beyond seems less distant, more connected, as though the chamber has taught you a secret. Presence is everywhere, not confined to walls or time. The night carries soft sounds, the faint rustle of leaves, the whisper of wind across the shore, the distant call of a bird. You realize these, too, are echoes of another sort. Gentle reminders of the vastness and patience of life. You return to the center of the chamber, standing quietly, breathing in time with the soft rhythm of echoes and the quiet pulse of your own presence. You notice how your body has relaxed, how your thoughts have softened, how your mind feels expanded yet grounded. Have you ever felt wealth that cannot be counted? Here, in the chamber, you have felt it. Not gold, not jewels, not possessions, but the richness of awareness, the treasure of stillness, the profound comfort of knowing that life, in all its layers and echoes, is gentle and abundant. You close your eyes once more, letting the room enfold you. Every echo becomes a lullaby, every reflection a reminder of calm. You notice that you are not moving forward in the ordinary sense, yet you are carried deeper into rest, deeper into presence, deeper into the gentle wisdom of the house. When you are ready, you will leave the Chamber of Echoes, carrying its lessons softly in your mind. The house waits beyond, glowing with warmth, ready to guide you to spaces where memory and imagination intertwine, where the night deepens into quiet reflection and gentle dreams. Tonight, you follow the quiet glow of the hallway deeper into the little house by the sea, leaving behind the Chamber of Echoes. Each step is slow, deliberate, in rhythm with the pulse of your own breath. The air carries a softness that feels like silk draped around your shoulders, a gentle invitation to linger, to notice, to drift further into calm. At the end of the corridor, a large arched doorway waits. The light within is different, not golden or amber, not the flicker of candle or lantern, but pale and silver, like moonlight distilled and held in one room. As you step through, the Library of Moonlight unfolds before you. The walls curve high above, lined with shelves reaching toward the ceiling, filled with books of all shapes and sizes. Their spines glimmer faintly in the moonlight, silver and soft, reflecting only a hint of light, but enough to draw your eyes gently upward. The shelves are arranged in gentle spirals, guiding you slowly through aisles that invite wandering rather than rush. Have you ever walked in a place where knowledge feels alive, yet soft? This is that place. It is not a library of loud voices or sharp instructions. It is a library of whispers, of stories breathing quietly, waiting for a reader who comes with patience and openness. The floor beneath your feet is smooth and warm, worn by countless footsteps, though none seem hurried. Each step you take resonates lightly, absorbed by the stillness of the room. And as you walk, the scent of parchment, old wood, and the faintest trace of sea salt fills the air, mingling into a fragrance that invites you to breathe slowly, deeply, with presence. Moonlight filters through a tall window at the far end of the library, spilling across the aisles in a silvery path. The light seems to dance on the floorboards, shifting softly as if aware of your passage. You notice how the shadows play among the bookshelves. Soft,
Fluid like slow-moving water, unfrightening.
but comforting, as though the room itself understands your need for calm. You pause at one shelf and run your fingers along the spines of the books. Some are smooth, some embossed, some delicate with age. Each one seems to hum faintly under your touch, a quiet resonance of stories waiting to be discovered. Have you ever noticed how a book can feel like a companion before you even open it? How its presence alone invites reflection, imagination, and gentle curiosity? You select a book that catches your eye, its cover soft and silver, edges worn but inviting. Sitting on a low, cushioned bench nearby, you open it slowly. The pages are delicate and fragrant, the words curling gently across the paper. They do not demand attention.
They do not hurry.
Instead, they lead you quietly, as if guiding you through a gentle stream of thought. The story within is not urgent. It flows like water. You read about distant lands and quiet forests, about soft rain falling across fields of wildflowers, about gentle creatures moving through the night. Each image is a soft brush on the canvas of your mind. The words move slowly, urging you only to notice, to imagine, to be present. As you read, your breathing deepens. Inhale, a slow drawing in of air. Exhale, a soft release. Each breath becomes part of the rhythm of the library itself, part of the pulse of moonlight and parchment and quiet understanding. The longer you linger, the more aware you become of the room around you. The moonlight traces patterns across the shelves, creating shadows that shift like dancers. The echo of your own presence returns faintly, not loud, not startling, but enough to remind you that you are alive, that you are part of this quiet dance. You notice that your thoughts,
Once scattered, now drift lazily like leaves on a pond.
you do not chase them, you do not push them away. They move gently in their own rhythm, shaped by the calm of the space, guided by the soft light and the quiet call of stories. Have you ever felt how much richness can exist in gentle observation alone? The library does not instruct you, does not test you. It simply invites you to notice the shape of the words, the curve of the letters, the way moonlight kisses the edge of a page. You rise from the bench and wander slowly through the aisles, letting your fingers trace the spines, the soft corners, the textures of each book. Some feel cool, some warm, some heavy, some light, and each one carries a promise that there is knowledge here, not urgent, not pressing, but patient, waiting for a heart ready to receive it. You pause near a window, gazing out at the silver-tinted sea beyond. The moon reflects across the waves, a quiet river of light leading toward the horizon. You notice how similar the sea and the library are, both infinite, both patient, both holding treasures that cannot be counted. The waves whisper, the books whisper, and the two merge in your awareness, soft and endless. A small table rests nearby with ink, paper, and a quill. Perhaps someone once wrote letters here, or perhaps dreams. You pick up the quill lightly, feeling its texture against your fingers. You do not need to write. You only feel the invitation. Inhale the calm. Exhale slowly. Imagine your thoughts spilling gently onto the paper, without judgment, without rush. Let the act of possibility itself soothe you. As you set the quill back down, you notice the way shadows and light play across the floor. The moonlight stretches, bends, softens. The echoes of your footsteps, of the turning pages, of your breath, join in a quiet chorus.
Nothing demands your attention.
Nothing interrupts your calm. You are free to simply be, to notice, to drift. You find another bench in a quiet corner where moonlight pools like a gentle river. Sitting, you close your eyes, letting the glow of the room, the pale, silver moonlight, wash over you. Thoughts may arise, memories may drift in, but each is received softly like a petal floating down onto water. You notice the wealth of calm that exists in observation, in presence, in allowing the mind to settle without force. Have you ever realized that wisdom can exist without words? That knowledge can be gathered simply by noticing, by listening, by being fully present. In this library, in this moonlight, you begin to sense it. A quiet wealth that does not flash or demand, but grows slowly, invisibly, indelibly within you. After some time, you rise and wander once more. The room is vast, yet it does not overwhelm. The moonlight guides you gently through spiraling shelves. You see books you have not yet touched, pages that have not yet been opened, stories that await without urgency. Every aisle feels like a whisper. There is more to see, but there is no need to hurry. You step near the center once again, closing your eyes, letting the room embrace you fully. The moonlight, the soft echo of your movements, the subtle fragrance of parchment and salt, all merge into a cocoon of calm. Every breath you take draws you deeper into presence. Every exhale releases tension. Every moment is softened by the gentle flow of light and knowledge. When you are ready, you will leave the Library of Moonlight, carrying with you the quiet richness of awareness, the calm of reflection, and the soft rhythm of infinite stories. The little house awaits, still glowing softly, ready to guide you toward the next chamber, where imagination and memory weave together, and where night deepens into dreamlike wonder. Tonight, you leave the moonlit aisles of the library behind, guided by the soft glow of lanterns in the hallway. Each step carries you closer to the unknown, yet there is no fear here, only anticipation, gentle and calm, like the soft swell of waves meeting the shore. The house seems to breathe with you, its walls expanding and contracting, welcoming each step, each quiet breath. At the end of the corridor, a doorway waits, framed with ivy and soft wood. Through it, a faint, sweet fragrance drifts toward you. You step through and the air changes immediately. It is cooler, yet infused with subtle warmth, carrying scents you recognize only in dreams: honeysuckle, jasmine, and something soft and green, like the earth after rain. You have entered the Garden of Night Blossoms. The garden stretches before you under the canopy of a twilight sky, where the moon hangs low, casting silver light on petals and leaves. Flowers bloom quietly, their colors muted in the night. Soft purples, deep blues, and pale creams, each petal glowing faintly as though kissed by moonlight. Their fragrance is gentle, inviting, and each breath you take fills your lungs with a calming sweetness. Have you ever walked in a garden where every plant seems aware of your presence? Here, the blossoms lean slightly toward you, petals trembling softly in the night breeze, as though acknowledging your arrival. The air itself seems alive, carrying the delicate symphony of scent, sound, and movement. Beneath your feet, the ground is soft and mossy, a quiet cushion that responds to each step without resistance. The moss releases the faintest warmth, as if it remembers every footstep ever taken here, welcoming yours into its slow, deliberate rhythm. You feel your own steps slow, guided by the pulse of the garden. A gentle stream winds through the center of the garden, water silvered in the moonlight. Its soft burble blends with the whisper of leaves and the occasional delicate flutter of petals. You pause beside it, placing your hand near the surface. The water is cool, smooth, alive with quiet energy. You dip your fingers in, feeling the ripples spread outward, the tiny waves brushing against stones, moss, and roots. Have you ever noticed how water, even when silent, carries a voice?
Here, it murmurs not instructions or urgency, but comfort.
It reminds you that life flows in rhythms, that stillness is part of motion, that presence is a quiet kind of wealth. You let your hand linger in the stream, feeling its coolness blend with the warmth of the moss beneath your feet. You wander slowly along the winding path, noticing the flowers that sway in soft synchronization with the night breeze. Each blossom seems to have its own heartbeat, delicate and steady. Some release fragrances more potent than others, and with each inhalation your mind grows quieter, lighter. Thoughts that once rushed now drift lazily, like petals falling onto the surface of the stream, carried away gently without force. A small stone bridge arches over the stream, smooth and worn. You step onto it, feeling the subtle rise beneath your feet, the gentle curve guiding you forward. From here, you see the entire garden laid out like a tapestry, rows of blossoms bending slightly toward the moon, the water winding through, and pathways disappearing into shadowed alcoves. Every detail invites you to linger, to notice, to breathe. Have you ever considered how a garden can teach patience? Each bloom has its own timing, its own rhythm. Some flowers open only in the night, some only in dawn, yet all exist together in harmony. So too do your thoughts, your feelings, your breath. Some arise, some fade, yet all are part of the quiet symphony of presence. You notice this and feel a subtle alignment within yourself, as if the garden's rhythm now pulses softly through your body. You pause by a cluster of blossoms, petals pale lavender, each one unfolding slowly. You reach out, brushing them lightly with your fingertips. The petals are soft beyond description, almost ethereal, yet tangible. Their touch sends a gentle shiver through your senses, a reminder that beauty is often quiet, subtle, and profoundly calming. A path veers into a shaded alcove where night-blooming flowers cluster thickly. Their scents are richer here, heavier with sweetness, and a faint hum seems to rise from the blossoms themselves. You kneel to breathe in the air fully, letting it fill your lungs and settle into your chest. With each inhale, a sense of peace expands within you. With each exhale, tension drifts away. Here in the alcove, the world seems suspended. The sky is deeper, the moonlight softer, the shadows more tender. You feel as though the garden itself is breathing with you, each blossom a note in an invisible lullaby, each leaf a whispered caress, each ripple in the stream a gentle heartbeat. Have you ever realized that calm can be cultivated like a garden? That attention, presence, and gentle awareness allow serenity to bloom as naturally as petals in the night. The garden teaches this without words, through fragrance, texture, sound, and light, and you feel it taking root in your own mind. You rise slowly and continue along a meandering path. Lanterns hang sparsely among the branches, their soft glow blending with the moonlight. Shadows play across the stone paths and mossy patches, forming gentle patterns that shift and move with every step. You feel held in the balance of light and dark, warmth and coolness, motion and stillness. A small bench waits beneath a flowering arbor, its branches heavy with night blossoms. You sit, feeling the sturdy wood beneath you and the soft fragrance surrounding you. The garden's quiet symphony, the rustle of leaves, the burble of the stream, the sigh of petals brushing one another, flows around and through you. Each note, each scent, each movement merges with your breathing, creating a sense of harmony that radiates from your chest outward, filling the entire body with calm. You close your eyes for a while, letting the garden enfold you completely. Each inhalation carries sweetness, each exhalation releases weight. Your mind drifts freely, yet with gentle guidance from the rhythms of the garden. You notice the interplay of light and shadow on your closed eyelids. Imagine the petals brushing softly against one another, the stream's lullaby threading through your awareness. Have you ever felt a moment so full of gentle presence that even thought seems optional? Here, in the Garden of Night Blossoms, you feel it. You realize that beauty and calm are not distant goals. They are already here, waiting quietly for attention, for awareness, for the patience to notice them. As the night deepens, the garden seems to glow more brightly, not with intensity but with serene fullness. The blossoms stretch toward the sky, the water shimmers in silver light, The air carries the soft murmur of life at rest. You rise slowly from the bench, feeling lighter, yet grounded, carrying the garden's peace within you. You wander back toward the doorway, retracing your steps along winding paths and over the gentle stone bridge. The night breeze follows you, soft against your skin, and the moonlight bathes your path in silver. You notice the garden's stillness remains, an unspoken gift that you carry with you as you step back into the glow of the house's interior. You return to the hallway, your senses tingling with the fragrance and calm of the garden. The house awaits, its glow soft and warm, ready to guide you toward the next chamber where dreams and memory merge, and where the night carries you ever deeper into rest, comfort, and gentle wonder. Tonight, you step softly through the hallway once more, leaving behind the gentle calm of the Garden of Night Blossoms. The house hums quietly around you, its wooden beams and stone floors echoing faintly with your measured footsteps. Each step is deliberate, yet effortless, as if the house itself guides you forward with patience and grace. At the end of the corridor, a tall, arched doorway awaits. You step through it, and the air changes immediately. It carries the faint scent of night air, mingled with a subtle trace of warm wood and something sparkling, almost like ozone after rain. This is the Room of Hidden Stars, a chamber unlike any other you have entered. The ceiling is high and domed, curving far above your head. Tiny points of light shimmer across it, delicate and silver, like stars scattered across a night sky. Yet these are not the ordinary stars you see beyond the window. They seem suspended closer, brighter and somehow tangible, each one holding a quiet pulse of presence. Have you ever felt the wonder of seeing the sky so near that you could almost touch it? Here, in this room, the stars feel within reach. They hum softly, not with sound, but with sensation, vibrating faintly against your awareness, as if waiting for you to notice them fully. The floor beneath your feet is smooth stone, cool yet comforting, and it stretches gently outward into shadowed corners where more stars linger,
scattered like secrets waiting to be discovered.
As you step further in, the faintest breeze brushes past you, carrying with it the scent of distant oceans and the quiet sweetness of night-blooming flowers. You pause at the center of the room and look upward. The stars above shimmer in delicate patterns, shifting slowly as if breathing. Some twinkle with a gentle rhythm, others glow steadily, patient and unhurried. You notice how the patterns seem almost familiar, like constellations remembered from childhood, yet rearranged into a secret map, known only to this house. Your breath slows as you observe them, each inhalation drawing the cool night air deep into your lungs, each exhalation releasing tension and thought. The stars seem to pulse in response to your rhythm, subtle yet reassuring, as if guiding your mind toward quiet contemplation. Have you ever considered that stars are not just light, but mirrors of presence? Each one carries patience, clarity, and calm. Here, their gentle glow reminds you that even in darkness, illumination exists, waiting for those who pause long enough to notice. You wander slowly, letting your eyes trace the arcs of light across the domed ceiling. The room is large, yet it does not overwhelm. Its space feels infinite, not heavy but expansive, stretching outward like the sky itself. Each step is echoed faintly in stone, a reminder of your presence, but the echo is soft, absorbed into the stillness of the chamber. As you move, you notice small clusters of stars closer to the floor, set into the walls like tiny lanterns. Their glow is subtle, silver light infused with warmth, like the pulse of the moon itself. You kneel to examine one, reaching out your hand. It is impossibly delicate, yet it seems to respond, shimmering more brightly as your fingers approach. The sensation is gentle, almost like brushing against silk, yet it carries a profound sense of wonder. Have you ever realized that wonder can be quiet, patient, and still? It does not shout. It does not demand attention. It waits like these hidden stars for the right moment, the right presence, the gentle heart ready to notice. You sit down on the smooth stone floor, letting your legs stretch comfortably, and you let your gaze drift across the room, absorbing the light and the calm. The stars seem to whisper without words. They remind you of small joys, quiet memories, and the richness of observation. Perhaps it is a childhood memory of gazing at the sky, perhaps a fleeting moment of connection, perhaps a smile remembered. Each pulse of light evokes a gentle warmth within you, a treasure that cannot be measured but only felt. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the image of the hidden stars remain behind your eyelids. You can feel their glow blending with the rhythm of your own breath. Inhale. The pulse of silver light flows in. Exhale. Tension, worry, and noise drift away, leaving only calm. Each breath becomes a note in the room's quiet symphony, a meditation in movement, a lullaby without sound. A faint breeze stirs the air. Perhaps it comes from the open window beyond, or perhaps the room itself moves with subtle life. You notice how the stars above seem to shimmer brighter in response to your stillness, as if the room acknowledges your presence, your calm, your awareness. The hidden stars are no longer distant. They are part of you now, tucked into your senses, woven gently into your being. As you explore the chamber further, you notice a small alcove tucked in a corner. Inside lies a low bench and a collection of tiny jars, each holding a miniature star, captured and preserved in delicate glass. Their light is soft yet steady, and they seem to hum with quiet energy. You reach out to one and hold it lightly in your hands. Its warmth is subtle, comforting, and it fills you with a sense of invisible riches, patience, curiosity, and gentle wonder that cannot be taken away. Have you ever considered that treasures are not always tangible? That the wealth of a moment, a breath, a quiet memory, is sometimes more profound than gold or gems? The hidden stars are proof. They are treasures of awareness, of calm, of noticing, quietly waiting to be claimed by those who slow enough to see. You rise and wander toward the window at the far end of the chamber. Outside, the sea glimmers under the moonlight, waves reflecting scattered points of light like stars fallen from the sky. The rhythm of the ocean mirrors the gentle pulse of the hidden stars inside, a soft harmony of night and water, of reflection and illumination. You pause, resting your hands lightly on the window frame, and take a slow, deep breath. Inhale, drawing in the cool, salty night air.
Exhale, releasing all tension, all thought, all worry.
You notice how the stars above, the sea beyond, and the quiet room merge into a single, serene presence. All is calm.
All is gentle.
All is enough. A final path leads you to a low stone arch in the center of the room. You pass beneath it slowly, feeling a subtle shift in energy, as if the stars themselves are guiding you toward the next phase of your journey. Each step carries the echo of wonder, the residue of calm, the quiet understanding that the treasures of life are often hidden in subtle, silent moments. The Room of Hidden Stars does not fade as you leave. It becomes a part of you. Its light lingers in your mind, its pulse in your breath, its serenity in your awareness. You carry it with you as you move forward, prepared to enter the next chamber, where dreams and imagination blend fully with memory and calm. You step back into the quiet glow of the hallway, your senses filled with the lingering light of hidden stars. The house waits patiently, guiding you toward the final chamber, where night reaches its fullest expression and where you will drift seamlessly toward rest, dream, and gentle sleep. Tonight, you step softly through the hallway once more, leaving the gentle glow of the Room of Hidden Stars behind. Each step is slow, deliberate, and unhurried, as if the house itself is cradling you, guiding your body, your mind, and your heart toward the final sanctuary. The lanterns lining the walls flicker softly, their light merging with the lingering moonlight from the windows, creating a path of quiet radiance just for you. At the end of the corridor, a large door stands slightly ajar. You push it gently, and the room beyond greets you with warmth unlike any you have felt in this house. It is as if the space itself is sighing, opening its arms to welcome you fully. This is the Final Embrace, a chamber meant to carry you from wakefulness to restful sleep, from motion to stillness, from thought to dream. The room is circular, with soft, curved walls that seem to hug the space inward. The floor is cushioned with layers of thick, soft rugs warm underfoot, each step sinking lightly into comfort.
Lanterns hang low, their light golden and gentle, like the first glow of dawn reflected softly in water.
The ceiling above is high but not intimidating. Instead, curves like the gentle sweep of the ocean's horizon, infinite and serene. You step in slowly, feeling the warmth wrap around your body, inviting you to release every weight you have carried. The air carries a faint fragrance, a combination of vanilla, sandalwood, and the lingering salt of the distant sea. Each inhalation fills you with calm, each exhalation lets go of tension you may not even have realized was there. Have you ever entered a place that feels like a hug, a gentle presence that reaches beyond touch? Here, the Final Embrace is alive with that sensation. The room seems aware of you, aware of every breath, every heartbeat, every subtle shift of your body. You notice how your steps slow without effort, how your shoulders release their tension, how your chest opens to welcome the calm. In the center of the room, a low bed awaits, draped with soft blankets and pillows. The fabrics are smooth, warm, and inviting, textured in such a way that your fingers brush them with pleasure even before you lie down. You approach and sit at the edge, feeling the softness give under your weight. You breathe deeply, noticing how each breath syncs with the gentle rhythm of the room. The walls themselves seem to pulse with soft light, ebbing and flowing like the tide. Shadows shift slowly, delicate and comforting, creating patterns that dance just at the edge of vision. Have you ever noticed how shadows can be gentle guides, not threats? Here, they move with a slow, hypnotic cadence. Each curve, each fold, each shimmer a lullaby for the mind. You lie back on the bed, allowing your body to melt into the soft layers beneath you. Your spine lengthens without effort. Your legs release their tension. Your arms settle comfortably at your sides. The warmth of the blankets, the gentle pulse of the room, the soft light, all combine to create a cocoon of presence and calm. Outside, you hear the faintest echo of the sea, a distant, soothing rhythm that blends with the quiet hum of the house. The sound is slow, unhurried, a gentle reminder of continuity, of the vastness beyond this room, of the connection between the body, the mind, and the world. You notice how the pulse of the ocean mirrors your own breath, slow and rhythmic, rising and falling with unforced ease. You close your eyes and begin to focus on your breath. Inhale, drawing in calm presence and warmth. Exhale, releasing thought, tension, and worry. Each breath carries you deeper into the soft embrace of the room. Each exhale letting go more fully than the last. Have you ever allowed yourself to simply be, without expectation, without thought, without movement? Here in this final sanctuary you can...
Here, being is enough.
Breathing is enough. Presence itself is the gift, and you are receiving it fully, completely, without resistance. The room seems to adjust to you. The blankets shift slightly, the light deepens softly, the shadows sway in gentle arcs. Everything is in harmony with your body, your mind, your spirit. You feel a profound sense of security, a quiet confidence that you are held fully and without condition in this space. Your thoughts drift slowly like clouds over a quiet ocean. Some are soft memories, some fleeting images, some gentle reflections. They pass without demand, without urgency, folding softly into the background. You notice how your mind slows naturally, how the tension in your jaw, shoulders and chest softens, how your eyelids feel heavier, ready to rest. Have you ever felt weightless while lying fully awake? Here, the final embrace gives you that sensation. Your body is grounded yet free, anchored yet floating. Each breath becomes a wave, carrying you further into calm. Each heartbeat is a reminder that you are alive. Yet, you do not need to act. You only need to feel, to notice, to allow. The room hums with quiet life, the faint shift of air in the curtains, the whisper of the sea far below, the soft rustle of blankets as they conform to your form. These sounds are not distractions. They are companions, gentle guides into the deep, restful state your body has been waiting for. You notice a small lantern beside the bed, its flame flickering softly, casting a gentle circle of light around you.
Its glow is warm, tender, intimate.
You focus on it for a moment, watching the movement of the flame, letting it mirror your own gentle breathing.
Inhale, rise.
Exhale, fall. The rhythm of light and breath, of warmth and stillness, carries you further into dreamlike awareness. A sense of gratitude arises, quiet and soft. Gratitude for this night, for this house, for your journey through its rooms, for the calm that has been cultivated gently, moment by moment. You allow the feeling to expand, filling your chest, your arms, your legs, your mind. Every fiber of your being feels softened, aligned, at peace. Have you ever noticed how peace deepens when you allow it fully? Here, in the final embrace, you do not need to chase sleep. You do not need to control thought. You do not need to measure presence. You only allow yourself to sink fully into the comfort, into the calm, into the gentle rhythm of night and body and mind. The final whispers of the house, the softest brush of air, the faintest echoes of the sea carry you closer. Your muscles are loose, your heartbeat slow and steady, your breath deep and unhurried. You feel cradled, as if the universe itself has bent its attention kindly toward you, guiding you into a state of rest that is effortless and complete. You allow your awareness to drift further. Images fade softly, thoughts dissolve gently, and a wave of deep, restorative calm envelops you. The final embrace is more than a room. It is a feeling, a state, a tender lullaby that holds you fully, without expectation, without interruption, without need. Every cell, every breath, every heartbeat responds, slowing, softening, surrendering. You are safe. You are calm. You are ready. And in this gentle surrender, the boundaries between waking and dreaming begin to dissolve, carrying you seamlessly into rest. If you have enjoyed this journey, allow yourself to carry its calm into your sleep tonight. Return whenever you wish to the little house by the sea, to the library, the garden, the stars. Each room a gentle guide, each breath a quiet companion. And as you drift into dreams, remember, presence, calm, and serenity are always within reach, waiting to embrace you fully. Let your mind soften.
Let your body sink.
Let the room, the house, the night, and the sea hold you as you drift gently into sleep. Imagine the soft waves outside mingling with your breathing, the gentle moonlight merging with your awareness, the quiet of the house wrapping around you like a tender hug. You are safe. You are calm. You are ready for rest.